I think that here, in the Senate, we aspire to be more than just one cog on a feedback loop. This is the body with Article 1 authority to declare war and to authorize the use of military force. I understand the importance in looking at your 3 items that shouldn't put a new AUMF in place, or shouldn't repeal the old one until a new is in place. No time constraints, we'll get to that in a second, not geographically limited, and the AUMF that Senator Kane and I have introduced, the bipartisan AUMF, I think meets the conditions of the 1 and 3. But number 2, with regard to time constraints, anybody want to hazard a guess of how many in this body, right here in the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, were in the Senate when the 2001 AUMF was passed? Not one. Not one member of this panel was in the Senate when the 2001 AUMF was passed, or the 2002 for that matter. 7 of us were in the House during that time and voted on it, but not one has had the opportunity to weigh in on it 16 years later. I would argue that the concern about giving our adversaries notice that we have to vote on something may be an issue, but it's overwhelmed in a big way by not having Congress buy in and not having us have skin in the game. It simply allows us to criticize the administration, Republican or Democrat, if we don't like what they're doing, because we haven't weighed in. We haven't said our piece. We haven't voted on this. So I would simply say that any concern about having to come back, we have a 5-year sunset on ours, 5-year. That's pretty long. But Congress needs to weigh in. We have to make sure that our adversaries and our allies, and most importantly, our troops, know that we speak with one voice. And so I hope that as we go along, we can talk about the relative importance of signaling that we might leave or might not finish, and not having Congress weigh in at all, and to go for 16 years before we actually weigh in or have any skin in the game. We, as I said, ought to aspire to be more than just part of a feedback loop. Article 1 authority is more than that. So with that, I'll hold back. And
thank you, Bertie.